the humble brag, that social status signaling. And research shows that when we socially signal in that way, we pick up on cloaked hostility in our affective prosody, which is our tone of voice, and our facial expressions. By nature, we're animals. I know when my cat comes up to me and his tail is big and buff, fluffy, he's mad. We can read these things in other people, and it elicits a hostile response in us. The humble brag at like sports. My kid's so good, he got 7 offers,
Yeah.
right? Like it triggers this whole sort of domino effect of indirect or covert aggression that we play out as parents that of course trickles down to our children.
Welcome back, Creative Mama fans. Today, we are talking about something that many parents are navigating right now, raising kids in a culture of competition, achievement, and the idea that there are no days off. Our guest is Dr. Noëlle Santorelli, clinical psychologist, speaker, and adjunct faculty member at Emory University School of Medicine. Dr. Santorelli specializes in women's relationships, family dynamics, and the social pressures of modern motherhood. We're diving into competitive sports, dance, and organized activities, the pressure we put on ourselves, the pressure we may put on our kids, and what it really takes to raise healthy, grounded kids in this environment. We'll also talk about being relationally astute, learning to read relationships, recognize dynamics, and use that awareness to protect your mental health. This conversation was really fun, and we talk about when to push and when to let go. Let's dive in with Dr. Noëlle Santorelli. We were just having a conversation with my youngest last night because I watched his game last night and I was like, he's got something every day. This is crazy.
Ugh.
I was saying to him, how do you feel? He said, I was really tired tonight and I was tired at the last game too. And I said, you're going to have to pick a night off. We're going to have to change something this week, like today, now. So you get to pick unless you want me to do it for you.
Yeah.
I said, I think I'll choose this and then this and this I'll choose this to skip. And I said, okay. And my husband and I had a conversation and I just said, I'm not into burning out my kid's tissues and his muscle fibers. I'm just not, and also his mind. So none of that is worth it. I'm not pushing him 1 minute past. You're jam-packed every day of the week. I want him to be able to play video games. I want him to go shoot the ball outside in the driveway non-competitively. And nothing will make a kid quit the thing they love quicker than pushing and burning out.
Yeah. And what's so important about that, though, is you were able to have the insight and the awareness, right? And the security in yourself and in your own parenting or your own family structure or your own system or your own integrity values or anchors within your family to say, here's where I'm going to draw the line. Like, I'm okay making this choice for my child.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we don't take the time to slow down, look inside and say, why am I pushing? Or am I pushing? Or, do I need to, as the parent, put the brakes on here and say, I'll tell my middle one, who's the one who plays sport, like higher level sports.
Yeah.
I'll say, we're not doing this. You're actually not going to add a training session in today. It's your
That's
one,
right.
because he'll try.
That's right.
And he'll say, but I have to. And I'll say, you don't have to. You will be okay. And it does get a little challenging because my husband played tennis and he did, I don't even know what you call it, but he didn't even do traditional high school towards the end of high school.
Yeah. So he could play more.
Yeah. So he was like just doing tournaments and stuff like that. Right. So he'll be like, oh, I mean, no days off. And I'm like, you know what? Like,
Right.
and so he comes at it from this, like, he was an athlete. And so he does know what it takes, right? And so he does have to check himself.
Yeah.
Now, and he'll say, and then my oldest is very academically focused. And I can resonate more with that because it's hard for me to tell my oldest, drop that AP. Don't study. Go to bed early. That's more challenging for me because I can get into that with the academic arena. So it's good that we can kind of check each other.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but having that insight of like where your trigger points are, or
Yeah.
just having awareness of what you're pushing and why, and where your how your stuff is coming into your relationship with your child.
Walking the walk of what it is that you want to see.
Yep.
Because the big picture is we do want our kids to have successful
Mhm.
lives, successful bodies, minds that aren't filled with anxiety because they've been pushed too hard, right? So it is, it is a balance of figuring out what that looks like if there is a big picture for us to keep
Yeah.
focused. Yeah.
I mean, and it's not funny, but it's ironic. Maybe it's not ironic, but my husband ended up getting a scholarship to play tennis for college, but he had to give it up because he blew out his shoulder.
Oh,
And it was not
yeah.
repairable, right? Because they kept giving him steroid shots or
Mm,
cortisone shots when his shoulder was not, feeling good, and he just kept pushing and pushing to get the college placement, to get
desperate
the
to do that.
scholarship. And at the end of the day, he couldn't even do it
Mm,
because so it's like, to what extent are we pushing? Are we pushing to the extent where our kids are going to have physical injuries, mental health injuries, or disabilities, right? Like, what are we pushing for and why is, that bigger picture question, I think. I have a lot of people on social media that come to me specifically from the dance world and sports world. I feel like I understand the baseball world a little bit more just because
yeah.
I've seen it a minute. But in the dance world, do you see, and this on record, off record, do you see the cliques forming? Do you see the competition from the parents coming down to the children and then the like, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why when I try to teach my classes, I try to like enforce in the children that we're doing this because we love it.
That constant reminder of, why are you here
Exactly.
at the beginning of the day and the end of the day? What got
Not
you
a
here? Where you go? Yeah.
I always say it's not a competition, it's a community,
Yeah.
period.
Yep.
Right? Kelly, I know
Yep.
you're the same. Like
I love that.
Shelly works
It's
on the collegiate level. She works with these dancers who are like entering the world. Like how
Yeah.
is that, Shelly? I mean, like they're like your babies in a way too.
Yeah,
oh
they're 100%. I mean, I have them for 4 years and
yeah.
they're all, doing out there doing amazing things. And
Dancers.
yeah,
This
they're
is dance.
performers. Yeah, so dance,
Okay.
so like commercial dancers. Also I work with dancers in musical theater programming. So, they're so it is highly competitive. But
Mhm.
I will find this interesting, and I didn't think this until now, but I would like to hear your perspective on this, Dr. Noel.
Mhm.
So in dance or in like the performance industry, right?
Yeah.
There are people that even when I came to New York to perform, and I've never left, I'm still doing it, not performing, but I'm here working. And I, have always found that there are people who are real opportunists. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying it, I'm actually like really, I wish I could be more like that. Like
Mm.
really like paying attention to like who's doing what, really taking advantage of like
Mhm.
industry relationships. Um,
Mhm.
they're a little bit a part of the whispering that goes on, but like it's
Mhm.
real, like, you know, they heard about a thing starting and then they got the job the next day.
Hmm.
Where I'm just kind of like looking around with my coffee, just kind
Yeah.
of enjoying the music. I'm in my zone.
Yep.
But I do know that I've realized this recently, my MO with all that is not that. I'm not like that. I am more, relationships are so important to me. So the way that I have
Mhm.
moved through this business is by relationship building.
Mhm.
That has come with a lot of loss for me. Like I have
Mm.
lost out on a lot of stuff, I think, because I wasn't so, um,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it would be aggressive, but you know
I
what
would
I'm
say aggressive. I was going to say the word
aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I don't,
Aggressive. Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll send an email after the meeting being like, I loved your shirt. It was so great to catch up with you. You're so fun. Thank you so much. Not like, hey, it was so great meeting you. Hey, listen, if you ever need an assistant on that project, you'll never hear that come out of my mouth because it feels so uncomfy for me
Yeah.
because I build relationships to move through my industry. And I
Mhm.
just think it's part of just kind of how I'm wired, but it's also
Yeah.
very important to me. I see someone the second time I've met them and ask
Mhm.
about, hey, how did that doctor's appointment go you were mentioning before I
Mhm.
say, how's that project you're working on? what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think that there's absolutely power in being able to, so being relationally astute, I think is
Oh, I love that.
right. It's absolutely a power
Yeah.
where, and you can use it for good or for bad, right? Like I actually talk about this all the time with one of my kids who is very relationally astute. He can really, like we joke that he's never met a stranger,
Yeah.
but in this very earnest way, right? He genuinely, it sort of reminds me of how you're speaking. He genuinely wants to know you and connect. It also makes people like him.
Yeah.
He's got something about him that makes him very likable because he's got these really astute relationship skills and he can really read a room and he can use it to his advantage. Um, and I try to infuse in him sort of humility with that. Like,
Mm.
yes, you can use your social prowess and your ability to read a room and connect with people for good, but we always have to be careful that we're using it for good. So then you've
Yeah.
got that personality component, I think, that can also come into play. So I
Hmm.
can be really relationally astute and I can be very Machiavellian, right? Which when
What
we
does
get
that
into,
mean?
yeah, when we get into the real psychology, right? The Machiavellian is like, I'm going to use these situations and these relationships for my advantage only. And I
Uh,
don't really care the impact it has on you or doesn't. It's part of the sort
mm,
of dark triad we talk about of personalities. We've got the
wow.
narcissist, we've got the Machiavellianism, and then we've got the antisocial part or
Mm,
the, which is the sort of more commonly talked about really dark. So that's the dark triad is those three different personality structures and types.
yeah.
And the Machiavellian part is the like almost like I see this as a chessboard and I see it really clearly. I'm really astute and I can really see it. And I'm really going for a checkmate. And I don't really care what's in my wake, what's in my, and
Yeah.
that I think that when you say hungry, and there's nothing wrong with being hungry. I'm ambitious. I'm hungry too. When I recently, after I went on the Tamron Hall show, which was like my first time on national TV, it was
Oh my
amazing.
God, that's amazing.
It was amazing. I called my husband afterwards. He's like, "How was it?" I was like, "I'm hungry for more." I mean, literally, I
Love it.
I used to dance. I love theater. Like I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
The makeup, the hair, the performing. I like all
A
that stuff.
performer,
Yes, I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. I enjoy it. And so, but that's the first thing I said is I'm hungry for more. I think it was the hair and makeup I really liked, but and getting dressed up. But you can use it, but you have, I think it does come down to your intention, like the personality behind the
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah.
And can you sort of balance your hunger with your respect for other people and how you use those people and your relationships to accelerate your success? Are you
Yeah.
using them as stepping stones? Are you literally stepping on them? Or are you bringing them along with you? Are you using it as a way to sort of just, help yourself advance? But you're
Right.
not like stepping on them literally.
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot imagine.
Hmm.
But I think you're right that there is a difference.
Right. And you can be socially charming, but strategically ruthless. And that's the Machiavellian. That's
Ooh,
that's being Machiavellian,
yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
I
socially
love.
charming, but you're strategically ruthless. Like
Oof.
your
But there's,
hunger is bigger than your heart.
I am so with you.
But there's certain people, and I think it's in every area, but I think particularly in creative industries, right, that you have to have a certain level of like sensitivity or depth or, a different kind of empathy in order to get in touch with like creative aspects. And so I think sometimes in the world of creativity, sometimes I think it offers, I would like to think that people are more empathic or aware of other people's emotions or
Yeah.
using emotions as something that channels their output, right? Like you need to use the emotions as fuel to channel the creative output.
Creative Mamas Unplugged is produced by Breatheasy Productions with music by Jeremy Jurin. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give my mama 5 stars and keep coming back. You are not alone.
And back with Shelly and the dogs.
Okay. Do you guys think that you have anything to say? Do you have anything to add? Nothing to add.